Hey, what's up everybody? It's been a while and I missed kind of creating and posting videos for you, but I've been on my snowboard trip up in Stowe, Vermont, and today we're just returning the rental car, which I believe was the last video that you saw that I posted. So today we're still in the rental car and we're just, headed back to the Enterprise where I had picked up this car, turn it in, and then we'll be running home. Even though it's a Monday, in the training plan I don't normally run on Mondays, but also in the training plan I don't usually have week-long snowboard trips that kind of throw things off as well. So lots of mini updates to come, but let's get right into it. Alright, so let's start out with the obvious question. Did I run while I was away? What happened? Why wasn't I posting anything? And the quick answer is no, I wasn't running while I was up there. And there were two reasons, I guess two main reasons. First one was I forgot my Body Glide or Squirrel's Nut Butter, basically the chafe balm that I run with, so that way I don't get any blisters. And the second reason that I wasn't running was the days up there were just brutal. It was a lot of fun, but to snowboard a full day with a group of friends in technical terrain, different tree trails, very steep slopes up at Stowe, it just took a lot out of me, and I think it wouldn't have worked to try and mix the two, to mix running and really some intense snowboarding. So I just needed to make the choice to enjoy the snowboarding part, put running aside for a minute, and just enjoy the trip and get the most out of it. So that's pretty much what happened, why I couldn't run, and also really chose not to run. But it was a lot of fun, and we're back to it now. We'll pick up where we left off, and yeah, more little updates inside. For now, we're just gonna enjoy the running, and we'll talk in a minute. So one of the other big issues that I ran into while I was away was a big blister that I got the first day from snowboarding, from the snowboard boots themselves. Just a newer pair that I hadn't used much before, and yeah, I just got a really bad bruise on the back of my heel, which I'll show you now. Still looks a little bit raw, so maybe don't look if you don't like any kind of blisters or cuts, but still bothering me a little bit even right now, unfortunately, but it's manageable. And again, it just would have been a thing where if I was running on it and snowboarding on it, it would have never healed, and it would have still been pretty bad today. So I'm glad I let that rest as well, and it let me at least pick up running again today. One really cool update for the New York City Runs group and anybody who's running the New York City Runs Brooklyn Half Marathon. They picked up a major sponsorship from Adidas. So the same way New York Roadrunners has a New Balance as a major sponsor, or has New Balance as a major sponsor, now New York City Runs has Adidas for their big events and races. So that's pretty big. It means Adidas gear for runners as far as like racing t-shirts, and just an overall boost, I'm sure, to New York City Runs, which will be really nice to have a second big group hosting races around New York City, so it's not a monopoly with New York Roadrunners. I think it's better for us as the racers.
All right, hey everybody, so we're all done with our run for today, and we're just gonna wrap up everything here. A couple small updates I do have. I just remembered while I was away during that past week, I actually contacted GoPro and they were able to send me a new camera. So I was just setting that up today, and we should hopefully be good to go going forward now that I have a new camera that hopefully won't lose any footage like I was experiencing, you know, just a couple times here and there before the Manhattan 10K. So let's jump into the actual run for today. Like I mentioned earlier, this was a 3-mile run, kind of off schedule, just to, you know, get us back on track, get to running again. And I guess I had some fresh legs because I was moving a little bit quicker and my heart rate was relatively low. So we came in at 3 miles, 9:19 per mile was the average pace. First 9:15, then 9:29, and then 9:11 for the final mile. And my heart rate's, you know, pretty low, 130, 139, 141 for an overall average of 137 beats per minute. So I guess I was feeling fresh, you know, makes sense. You know, I was doing some harder efforts before we went away. And then even though we're snowboarding, I was using different muscles and things like that. And I guess I just have some fresh running legs. So thanks again, everybody, for sticking around while I was away. One of the things that I want to do coming up is comparing these two here, Squirrel's Nut Butter and Body Glide. These are two products that are, again, just anti-chafe balms, and this was something that I've been trying new. I usually used Body Glide in the past, so I'm going to compare them and talk about which one I like better. In case you haven't used one of those before, it's definitely something I recommend, and if you use one versus the other, maybe you'll get a little bit of a sense from my experience which one you'd rather use, or if you should switch or want to switch. And the other thing that I'll do quick coming up soon is I got one of the new GoPro batteries with the camera. It's supposed to last longer, so if you're someone who also films when you're running with a GoPro and you're curious about, you know, maybe if you want that new battery that's supposed to have better battery life and better battery life in the cold, we'll see. In my experience, you know, I just used it for the first time today. If I see any improvements, if it seems to be better, and if it's worth buying, even though it's relatively inexpensive, you know, it's still something you don't want to throw money at if it's not going to give anything to you in return. So that's what's coming up the rest of this week as we continue training for the New York City Half Marathon. Yeah, thanks again for sticking around, and I hope to see you all in the next one.